Hello and welcome back to Centre College Esports Overwatch.
Initiating match.
I'm coming to you from Centre College's campus, and it is Retro P, your favorite Overwatch caster who is here every week to present to you. We are starting a little bit late due to the fact with technical difficulties are on our end, but we are here and ready to start the second match.
Ready for battle.
Eichenwald is one of the maps that Centre has an inkling for, so we will see how they fare during this game today.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Looks like Centre is attacking first, so let's see them push these guys back and get to it. We can see Arcadia is strategically putting players around the map in order to try to catch Centre off guard.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Centre is now on the way to try to claim the objective and continue forward.
Engaging
We have one person down in Arcadia as Centre continues to move forward. Let's see if Centre can get a couple more picks off. We have 2 more Arcadia players down. 3, 4. Centre is almost done the objective, and they have secured the payload, getting them 1 point, and they are now moving forward.
Watch your back.
Right now there's a bit of a lull as Arcadia is regrouping and Centre is just slowly moving to the left. We have 1 down on the Centre team, however, Centre can still take this face-over. Rate is still moving at a slow rate, which is good, letting the rest of the team as they look at Arcadia. About halfway to the first checkpoint. Let's see if Centre can hold it all the way there. 4.5 minutes to do that, which is more than enough time. You see a good synergy between the players today. They have been practicing a bit more. They have increased their practicing to kind of move to 3 in order to get more experience and also to help their cohesiveness and working as a team. And we can really see that today with having a team-wide. And they are rapidly approaching that first checkpoint. It is 28-5. It is enough to contest the point, but let's see if Centre can get that. Contested yet again. We've got J-Double and Yana today. Good job. Harlow with the forward shot. We have the Gal. And Arissa. And he's also doing an amazing job. Centre seems to have moved back a little bit in order to regroup while they are returning or waiting for some players to return, but it is not seeming to affect their standing in the game itself. The payload is moving a little bit backwards, but it is not moving back
Not exactly.
enough to impact Centre's coming in strong after regrouping regrouping. Support players are doing an amazing job healing their teammates. And it looks like they are going to move in soon in order to get back on that payload. As we do get closer to spawn for Arcadia, it does become harder as they will spawn and be back as the payload faster than Center. This match right here seems to be very evenly matched between the teams. May be getting the upper hand, but it also seems like Center is. There we go. Center did get the upper hand and claim that payload checkpoint, and now they just need to regroup and move forward. Arcadia has sort of created a wall over here.
Get in there.
In order to block Center from reaching the final checkpoint, securing all the content. There's a lot of action happening on the screen as the teams are both putting in their full efforts to either A, keep Center from getting to the goal, or save themselves trying to get to that final checkpoint.
Hi. Hiya. Group up.
Step right up.
And right now, into this because the Arcadia players spawn and get attack quite quickly, whereas the Center players will not be able to. Half of Arcadia's team is down, and Center moves forward and claims the final checkpoint, completing the first round of this specific map.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Up next, Center will be defending on Eichenwald, which is one of the maps that they do at best. So we can really see Center be able to hold Arcadia back and give it their all.
Ready for battle.
Behind you! Ah! Behind you! Ah! Behind you!
Center's moving into place right now, and Arcadia will be waiting behind a wall until
Attackers incoming
they
in
are
30
freed
seconds.
from their attacker prison. And now we just get to wait a little bit at the area right before the payload, or the first objective, which they need to claim in order to move the payload forward.
Buckle up.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Here we go.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Let's see if Center can really hold the reins on this. Where they started. Things are still defending fairly well, and we are able to see that firsthand as not a single bit of the objective has been claimed by Arcadia. Well, now it is being slightly claimed. However, Center is holding them off and contesting it for the most part.
Buckle up.
Objective lost.
Arcadia has claimed the payload and is now moving forward. Center will now hold them off, or lead, and prevent them from getting to that next checkpoint.
Activating the barrier. Breaching the barrier.
Right now, Center looks like Center is on the high ground and slowly trying to slow down the payload and push the Arcadia players out. And it looks like this is working to their advantage ever so slightly. As now half of the Arcadia team has been wiped out and the payload is no longer moving forward. Center must keep Arcadia from reaching the second checkpoint for around 3.5 more minutes, which is a long time, but Center has prevented teams from reaching those checkpoints for a longer period. Right now it looks like Center has backed up a little bit and is sort of preparing for Arcadia to come in right before the checkpoint. Right now Arcadia is going to have to regroup, as I think they lost 5 of their players, if not all, just more staggered. So that gives Center time to regroup yet again and sort of move forward and prevent them from even getting close to the payload.
Behind you.
The payload is slowly moving backwards now as no Arcadia players are on it, and Center is trying to pick off some of the players before they can even get there. Looks like both teams took a little bit of a hit. However, Center does have the advantage as they're able to regroup quicker. Payload is still slowly moving backwards, and looks like Center is really getting into their swing of things here. It also looks like Arcadia is trying a bit different of a strategy, taking the high ground, it looks like, to get near the bridge and then proceeding from there. There's James doing what he does best. And the point is currently being contested. Center's putting their all into this right now. We've got 2 divas decking it out. And it looks like Center was almost fully team wiped just now. Now that the payload has reached this checkpoint, Center has 2 more minutes in order to prevent them from reaching the next one, which is very, very close. So this is going to be a very tight game for both Center and Arcadia right now. Payload is currently being contested. Let's see if Center can keep this up. And it looks like they cannot. This round has been completed with both teams reaching the final checkpoint and scoring 3 points each.
to 3. Initiating match.
Right now, both teams are sort of gathering themselves together and assembling their heroes. As we take a look around Eichenwald.
Ready for battle.
Taking off.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Right now it appears that Center is on the defense again and Arcadia is attacking. So Center will be trying to prevent them from doing that yet again.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Looks like that we are going to get some hold current action soon. However, Arcadia is staying near the spawn. I think they're trying to regroup a little bit before they really head out. Center has a minute to hold, so let's see them in action.
Time to raise my ACS. Let's do this.
We've got Gal down on Center, however, and James as well.
30 seconds remaining.
Center is coming back. It looks like Arcadia will probably claim the objective point.
Objective lost. Stop the payload. 10 seconds remaining.
Center now has to prevent the payload from moving as well. This is exactly like last time. Let's see Center. Let's see if Center has learned anything from the last match that they just did and apply this to this one. Sort of thinking on the fly. Here's James with a double kill just now, helping provide that support for Center with the cover attacking fire. We've got half of the Arcadia players down, and a couple on Center. And yet again, both divas are still in the game. We've got Tossboy providing what much needed support, and it looks like Center is regrouping.
Behind you.
Payload is moving forward quite rapidly in this overtime match. And it looks like it is about to reach the second checkpoint, but being very heavily contested by Center, as Center is not going to give this up without a fight. Arcadia has reached that second checkpoint, and just like last time, Center will be trying to hold right here to prevent Arcadia from getting to that final checkpoint. Payload is about to end. Arcadia has secured 3 more points in this round.
Score 6-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Let's see if Centre can pull through on the attack and get all the way to the final checkpoint to tie things up against Arcadia right now.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Buckle up, buckle up.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Centre is out of the gates and is on the move to capture the payload. See if they can put the works on Arcadia and push Arcadia back just enough to claim the payload within, I guess, the minute and 45 that they have.
Time to raise my DPS. Mounting tower forward shield. Let's do this.
The point is still being highly contested. Looks like Centre will need to get the upper hand soon, or they will not be able to capture this point.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
They've got the payload now, and they are moving forward. They've got 30 seconds to move the payload forward, or they will be stuck with the 4 points that they currently have. We are in overtime right now. Centre must keep moving forward in order to not lose this overtime. However, Arcadia will be having to regroup and put themselves back together, so that does give Centre slight time to move forward.
Victory.
Arcadia has won this map, but that does not mean that it is over for Centre. We still have a couple more maps for Centre to really shine and get some more wins. Until this point, it looks like Arcadia won the first game, which we were unable to stream earlier due to technical difficulties, and they've also won this one. So Centre is not in the doghouse yet, but they really got to put the works on Arcadia and pull through in these next few games in order to come out with the win. Right now, the teams are regrouping, and the next map should begin shortly. It looks like it will be on Havana as well, or Havana. We're playing on a handful of maps that Centre is familiar with, so hopefully that helps out Centre to get the mojo back and give Arcadia a run for their money.
Traveling to Havana.
And here we go. Havana, Cuba.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Looks like Arcadia is on the defense first,
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
and Centre will be attacking in 30 seconds, just like the robot lady said.
Amazing!
This first little shoot up the street can really make or break the map. However, Centre typically is able to get all the way through it. Arcadia is hiding in the building though, so we'll see if Centre can get out very quickly and then get Arcadia away as they move the payload forward. Centre has the advantage right here because they can quickly respawn, regroup, and move back out. And since they are right at the beginning, there is no con to waiting a little bit, except for losing a little bit of time, which they have plenty of as it stands right now. We've got a couple aerial individuals from Arcadia, as well as their tanks and attackers on the ground. It looks very difficult for Centre to keep up with, as they're having to keep track of two different battlefields, one in the sky and one on the earth. Arcadia is using this turret to their advantage, as they are able to attack from multiple different angles, which is very difficult to keep a track of where people are and what they are doing. Looks like Arcadia is regrouping after they lost a few of their players, and the payload is slowly moving forward. Center is almost halfway to the first checkpoint, and it looks like Arcadia is back and coming back with a little bit of a vengeance, but it's something that Center cannot handle. We have people on both sides of the street. It looks like Arcadia is taking a bit of a blow as it's harder for them to use the high grounds in this area, but Center seems to be putting the works on them a little bit and moving forward at a good pace. It is currently being contested, and looks like Center is moving forward and will continue to move forward after this. Arcadia has set up a little bit farther in order to prevent Center from reaching the second checkpoint, but both teams appear to be fully regrouped and moving forward. Center is almost halfway to that second checkpoint, maybe about a third of the way. But it looks like they have the advantage on Arcadia in this present moment. They've eliminated one of the supports for Arcadia, crippling the other heroes as well, as they cannot get the support that they so need, as you can tell by having lower health. Center can use this to advantage to slowly dwindle people down, but it looks like the other support is returning soon, so that advantage will go away. The payload is still moving forward for the most part, although it is being contested currently. So once Center can get rid of some of the Arcadia players, they can move forward with the payload. Payload is moving forward again, and it looks as if Center might secure the payload before Arcadia gets back. However, it is looking very, very close. And Center has secured that second point and is on their way to the final points of the match. Center has a little under 3 minutes to push forward fully and get to the final checkpoint. However, Arcadia will be making their strongest stand on this bridge right here. This is where things really show out and people put their all into, as it is the last big fighting area. The Center players who were just eliminated are going to have to make their whole way across the map, and it looks like Arcadia used a stagger kill in order to make it a little bit harder for Center to regroup and to use up more time on their part respawning. Center is back though, and the payload is now moving forward again. We got a shield up as well, and looks like Center might be able to get that payload to the beginning of the bridge and then eliminate the other Arcadia players. Sinner's very close to that final checkpoint now, and it looks like some of the Arcadia players are down, therefore giving Sinner the advantage to move forward. But since we are in the Arcadia spawn area or nearby it, it's going to be a lot easier for Arcadia to respawn and then come right back out with fire to keep Sinner from getting that final point. Sinner is being pushed back ever so slightly. However, they still have a tad over a minute in order to push that payload right up until the final point. Looks like a majority of Sinner is down and is now regrouping to head back. Sinner still has the chance to push forward fully.
No one can hide from
And let's see if they can do it. We've had Who's James on Widowmaker now, getting those long cross-map snipes in. The payload is slowly moving back as the Arcadian players are very much putting on a good defense. We are in overtime as it stands right now. Sinner has to keep that payload moving forward if they want to secure that final point. And Sinner has secured 2 points for this round. Up next, roles will be switched, and Arcadia will be attacking while Sinner will be defending.
0 to 2.
If Arcadia gets all 3 points of the round, all 3 points in round 2, they will win the map.
Initiating match.
And now we wait a little bit for that map, or this round, to begin.
Ready for battle.
Behind you! Ah!
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Let's see if Sinner can hold off Arcadia on this map and prevent them from getting that 3rd point that they need to win. So they have a majority of the map to prevent Arcadia from getting those points.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Sinner and Arcadia are starting out strong by both losing a player already. Arcadia with another close behind. Sinner realizes the importance of preventing Arcadia from getting these final points and is showing up with a passion that they do not want to lose. Sinner seems to be holding fairly well by picking off a couple of the Arcadia players at a time. Sinner is able to prevent them from reaching the payload, sort of just keeping them almost directly in spawn. Arcadia still has not moved the payload forward. Centre is employing a strategy that is working very well for them currently.
Check this out. Oh, time to accelerate. Up the ball.
There's not much for me to say, as not much has changed. Centre is still holding. They've been here for about a minute or two now, and they're doing it pretty well. Arcadia has started moving forward a little bit, but it looks like Centre can still hold them here and prevent them from moving forward. The payload is slowly moving forward, or quickly moving forward if you want to look at it that way, but Centre is ready to move back in and blockade Arcadia. Payload is almost at the first checkpoint, and it looks like Centre is down quite a bit. However, they still have more than half the map to come back from this.
Time to raise my APM.
The payload is moving forward at a steady rate, but both teams are very evenly matched right now, and they are in a area that you can take high or low ground, thus giving each team an advantage only when they would like it.
Raise my APM.
Get you healed up.
The payload is now moving backwards and Arcadia is regrouping, but they are now back. We've got Vector as Reaper, taking the front lines right now, trying to pick off a couple of the players, along with the rest of Centre on the high ground. Both Centre and Arcadia are all grouped very close together, utilizing shields and buffs from their teammates. We've got a fair amount of Centre players down. We have a full team wipe basically, and Arcadia is now moving forward ferociously. Centre's back right before they reach the second checkpoint and are currently contesting it. We are in overtime as well, so Center can eliminate Arcadia and prevent them from getting this point. Center will win this map. So right now, and it looks like Arcadia has secured the second point, along with another minute and a half of time. Center's regrouping at the spawn and the final checkpoint in order to prepare to prevent Arcadia from crossing this bridge with the payload.
Sniper, don't get caught.
60 seconds remaining.
Arcadia is meeting Center before the payload does in order to make and clear a path. And it looks like that strategy is eliminating some of the Center players. The payload is on the bridge now, and Arcadia is rapidly approaching the rest of Center. Payload is moving forward, and it is now contested only a single meter away from its final resting place. And Arcadia has won this round as well as this map in full. So that gives Arcadia 3 wins on the maps and Center 0.
Nice and easy. Just how I like it.
And that is a wrap on today's Overwatch games. Arcadia has pulled out of this with a win, and Center has taken a loss for their second game of the season. However, Center still has a full season ahead of them, and they have a 1-to-1 win-loss ratio. So, thank you to everybody for tuning in. Hopefully next week I will have a co-caster with me to make listening a little more enjoyable, but I wish everybody to have a wonderful rest of their week and beginning of their weekend. Tune in next week, everybody.